What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Happy Monday. Today I would like to show you at least 5 different indicators that tell me, give or take, when we will get out of this bear market. Now know that these are indicators, these are statistics, these have high probabilities to play out because it's what happened before, but history doesn't repeat, right? So it's not a certainty, but you know, charts, data, it's all that we can go off, right? So that's what we're going to use today. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, feel free to subscribe to the channel. It's going super fast. Thank you so much for your support, and while you're here, please smash that like button so that other people that are, you know, might given up on crypto can see this in their feed as well, so that YouTube recommends this, so that people might think like, oh, Bitcoin, that was still a thing. Yes, it is still a thing. Of course, it's not that, it's never that. So let's jump right into the charts, because I got a couple of charts here that show us what the expectation might be. And like I said, I have at least 5 different indicators. There will be a bunch more, but at least 5 is where we can start off with, right? Now, at the moment of recording, I'm shooting this one day on forehand. Bitcoin is sitting at around $16,500, right? Now, we talked a lot about, you know, where could it go, and to just give you my bearish targets, like if shit hits the fan, then it's very clear that we have one big support level right here, sitting at $13,800, give or take. It was the closure here in 2017 and the closure here in 2018 a week later, and it was where we had this fake out. We had some problems here in the run-up of 2020, and also you can see right here it was nice support, and from there we bounced. So that's a major level. That's a way bigger level than, you know, that 19, 20, 18K that where we, you know, been so long, right? That was mainly only this right here and this little fake out right here. This level is much stronger. If we break that though, then I can see us go all the way. And oh, by the way, sorry, that level, what I said, is $14,000, give or take. And $11,800 is this level right here. I see that as the ultimate bear level. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, things could get worse in the meantime. It's now, I think, a good accumulation phase, at least if you are, you know, holding crypto for the longer term and you want to dollar cost into it, then it's definitely not a bad idea to already look a little bit at, you know, dollar costing a bit. But that's not financial advice in any way. Do with it whatever you want, right? First indicator, and I have my cheat sheet right here because I am very, I forget everything. First indicator is the stochastic RSI in the monthly chart, right? We are now at stochastic RSI is you know, at a very oversold level, and the returns are always great, right? If we get from oversold to overbought, you see what happens right here, and here again, if we get from oversold to overbought, what happens? So in the long run, it's great, but how long does it usually stays in the oversold territory? Well, from the moment we got into, and I will refer to these both lines, you know, touching the bottom right here, to where we get back up, give or take. Here it was 518 days. In this next bear market, it was, give or take, 300 days. Right? So that's 400 days on average. Okay. Now we are in this for quite a while already. We are now in this for 270 days, right? So if we go with the average, we have 130 days to go, right? So 130 days, let's say 4 months. So that's December, January, February, March. March, April, it's already the end of November. So that says March, April, right? Let me get a document to write exactly what these things are all saying. So stochastic RSI, March, April, here we go, sorry. March, April 2023. That's according to the stochastic RSI when things are finally start to go back up again. And it's not instantly, you know, such a parabolic move or anything, but at the moment we get across, you see that Bitcoin stops, you know, going, you know, flat and slowly goes up. And this looks slowly, by the way, but if we zoom in a little more, you'll see that Bitcoin basically went from $180 to $500 in just a couple of months, right? So that's a 3x on Bitcoin already. Imagine if we do a 3x right now. And I know more money into Bitcoin, more liquidity, so less big price movements, but still, the lower the price goes, the bigger the price movements are going to get to the upside as well. So that's the first indicator that I got for you. The second indicator is this one that I showed you before in this channel, so I won't spend too much time on this, but that's this one right here. And this is a chart. You might feel like, what the hell's going on here? But it's basically very simple. The blue line represents the Bitcoin halving. The red line represents a year before the Bitcoin halving. Always, if we have the Bitcoin halving, a year before the Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin starts to move up. Here, exactly 1 year starts to move up. And here, we have the Bitcoin halving, 1 year starts to move up, right? We have the Bitcoin halving planned, well, based on, depending on the hash speed, of course, but give or take April, right? So, April, May. So, a year before that, well, that's the same period, but then a year before that, so also April, May 2023, right? So, year before thing. And I'll try to go through this very quickly. If you have no idea what I'm talking about with this one, go watch one of my other videos. Talked about it a lot. But that says April, May 2023, right? So these so far are lining up with each other. All right. Then we have the top of a cycle until the next move up. I haven't checked this before, by the way. So, but that's the top of the cycle until the next move up. So let's go, for example, with this cycle right here, this first cycle right here. We had the top of the cycle, which was in June 2011, until, we went into this bear market right here. And when did we start going back up? Well, it was this area right here, right? And this bear market was totally different. I mean, and this was even in a weekly candle, we went from $10 to $30 and back, right? That's like Bitcoin now going to 45K and back in a week. Like, what in the world is happening right there, right? Now we need whales for that. We didn't need these big players back then, right? But we had in June 2011, and here in December 2011 we started to go back up. Well, this was basically also a sideways area. Where we really started going up was around here, June 2012, right? So that's exactly 1 year. All right, let me write that down. 1 year. Here we at the top in November 2013, right? When did we start really going up again? Well, sideways, and here is finally the point where we started to go back up again, right? I mean, we had the bottom here, we had some kind of a double bottom here, so 2013 December, and here in around October 2015, we started moving back up again. So that's give or take 2 years. Then we had the peak in December 2017, and we started going up, slowly, but we started going up around this area. So April 2019, so that was 1.5 years, 1.5 years. Right, so if we take the average between 1, 2, and 1.5, and I'm stupid, so let me do it like this: 1 plus 2 plus 1.5. Let's divide that by 3. Well, that's 1.5 years, by the way. So that's 1.5 years. We had the top in November 2021. So if we add 1.5 years to that, where would that take us? Exactly May 2023. God damn, this is lining up pretty good, by the way. So top till bull, to call it like that, wasn't really the bull market yet. Well, May, give or take, 2023. It depends if you really want to round it up month by month by month, right? But that's the next one. So that's pretty interesting. If we take a look at the, well, this one is less accurate in my opinion. And that's for a good reason. Because if we take a look at the pi cycle bottom indicator, then why do I say this is less accurate? Well, because we had some pi cycle bottom indicators in the past which were nailing the bottom, right? We had them back in 2015, and that was on point for, let me take a look, how close was it? This was on point. The same week it was on point. So that was really on point. Then we had the pi cycle bottom indicator again going off in 2018, also on point. And that was a few days difference, I think, but same week. So still on point, right? But this year it's totally different because we had the pi cycle bottom. You know, we had the low in June, right? And we had the pi cycle bottom indicator going off in July. So even if this was the bottom, it was inaccurate by a month, right? But now we made a new low. So the pi cycle bottom indicator is not only wrong, it is off by 4 months. So it's not a little wrong, right? It's pretty wrong. So in this case, I don't know if we can trust this indicator in this cycle, because what I wanted to show you is this. From the moment we got the pi cycle bottom indicator, that's when the pi cycle bottom indicator is basically when these two moving averages cross, and these are the long moving average 471 and the 150 days moving average. I'm pretty sure about that, correct me if I'm wrong. But if these cross, right, the red line goes underneath the green line, that's where the pi cycle bottom indicator goes off. But then if they switch the other way around, if they cross the other way around, like we saw here, it's called parabola. This is where, well, we not necessarily go parabolic. Yeah, it looks parabolic, but this was parabolic, right? But that's when we started to move back up. Well, if we look how much time there's between these two indicators, that's about 260 days, right? And then we had the other one. Let me take a look where that was. So we have 260 days and we have 140 days. So that's an average of 200 days, right? So it means that 200 days from this indicator takes us here, January, right? January. So according to the pi cycle bottom indicator, we should start moving up by January. Okay, let's write that down. Pi cycle Jan 2023. Although it has already been off for, like I said, 4 months, right? If this was the bottom right now, then we can add these 4 months to January. And where does it take us? May. But then again, we don't know if this is the bottom, of course, right? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We don't know that. So that's just something that I think is pretty interesting. Is there something else I wanted to tell you about this one? No, it's basically like the longer we don't, the longer we stay here, right? The more off this pi cycle bottom indicator was, basically. So if it turns out that we later make a new bottom, yeah, then this is even more wrong. If this was the bottom, well, then it's been wrong for 4 months. It's already way too bad, in my opinion, to really trust it that much. And then we have another one, and that's comparing some bear markets. And comparing some bear markets, we can do this here. This is Into the Cryptoverse by Ben. If you follow his channel, he has this app right here, and it costs you quite some money to get access. But I just bought it, and I would like to use it to share a lot of things with you guys, because this is the best information on chain and charts, well, on chain mostly, you can get, right? And I'm going to cover a lot with this because that guy has been calling the complete bear market perfectly using his own application. And there is a lot to find right here. You have all these charts where we can take a look at, and that's exactly what we are going to do. But for now, I want to show you this one. So this is the ROI after a cycle peak, right? So this is basically once the cycles peaks to the bottom, right, of the cycle. Now it's a bit messy. The green line is the cycle where we are right now, right? And the blue line is the first one. So, but you know, like I said, that was in 2011, and I don't know how comparable that is. Like I said, since there wasn't much money needed to move the crypto market, since everything was a bit different, since these indicators didn't really have much to go off. So let's get rid of that though. But what do you notice right here? Well, when we compare this bear market to, for example, the bear market in 2018, this bear market is already taking longer, right? So it's taking longer right now. Although this bear market is taking longer, we are still, you know, we are sitting way higher than where we were here, right? So, you know, the 2018 bear market was shorter, but was more going down faster. And, you know, yeah, that's kind of what I prefer though, because it's not really about the price, like, but the time is really. But then again, if you have a good income, by the way, you can see this as an opportunity to maybe dollar cost. And at the end of the day, it's a blessing in disguise, right? But yeah, whatever. That's not the point. But what I notice right here is that if we take a look at, for example, the last bear market, so let's take our bottom peak 2 as well, or 2, because there are a lot of comparisons between this bear market and the 2018 bear market, like really a lot, right? So let's take a look at that. Well, let's see how it goes when we go back to the peak, how this bear market, so this yellow orange line is the 2018 bear market, right? So if you look how this went, how did it go? Well, we had the bottom, right? And you can see the days in this box at the left corner, left above corner of the box, 365 days basically, right? That's how long the bear market took. Once we really started to go up again was basically here. You know, you can say here, but you know, yeah, slow grind, I don't know. It's basically here, right? Well, that's 100 days more, right? So if we do follow this structure and we add another 100 days, where does it take us? That's January, because we have 10 days in November. So we have December, January, February, right? Am I saying that correctly? December, January, February. March, sorry, 100 days plus whatever. March, right? So this would put us at in March. So I now have 5 different indicators. Mark, thanks, Mark. I now have 5 different indicators that show us March, April, May, January, and March. And the one that says January is the only indicator that shows us that for now it has it's incorrect by 4 months. So like I said, if we add that, but that's not, because that's pretty hypothetical, but that will put it at the same place. So March, April, May, based on these 5 totally independent different indicators. Now, I am not saying that this will happen, but for now, everything points out that this is the case though, right? It's just the case. It's just how the cycles move. And yeah, you can have the argument like, okay, yeah, but now we have the macro and we have never been in an environment where there's no money being printed and where the Fed, you know, is doing what it's doing right now, and that we have a recession incoming and that there's so much inflation and all that. But that's been going on for a while. For now, the bear market is still pretty similar, right? Every bear market has its own bad narrative, right? And this time, it's this reason. So it all comes down to pretty much the same thing. And that's what I think is yeah, pretty interesting that, you know, around this level right here, well, March, April, May, let's take the average and say April, give or take, right? That this should be a turning point for crypto. Now, please, if we are there, once we are in April 2023 and it didn't happen yet, don't come at this channel and be like, oh, you were so wrong. Because, you know, I'm not claiming, like, I hate these people that say like, okay, this is going to happen. I'm admitting I don't know what's going to happen. I just check out the charts, check out the statistics, take the averages and base my calculations on that. Because guess what? That's all we have besides speculation, right? So if we have to use anything, then that's it. And let me take a quick, oh my god, all right, so that's basically what I expect for then. And in the meantime, is it possible that Bitcoin goes all the way to well, all the way, it's not that far anymore, but to, you know, 13k or maybe even 11k? It's possible. It's definitely possible, right? If we do compare this more to the 2018 bear market, then let me get this out of the way. Then this is where we are right now, give or take, right? Then this is where we are, right? So, and so far it's doing better because, yes, we had that sideways movement. We had a pretty big drop. And that's exactly what we had here as well. We had the sideways movement. We had a pretty big drop. But now in this week, like, we didn't have that second candle, and you know, it could come next week. Like, it's not repeating this. If it does that, then you know exactly what to do and you will be rich like very soon. So that's not what's going to happen, right? But if we do compare this, yeah, then it's definitely possible that we go a little lower and that we stay there for a while, right? So it's definitely, like I said, we can go lower. Maybe even here, we stay here for a while, and then when it's getting there, slowly start to climb back up. And then a year before the halving, that's where we are then, give or take. And then when we have the halving, it's a little sideways, and then make that parabolic move again. So far, this cycle is not different. Therefore, I do still expect that Bitcoin will see a new all-time high, or the peak of the next bull run, November, December 2025. Right? I'll come back with more videos about, okay, but when will the next all-time high be, right? Because that will be the peak, but it has to make a new all-time high first. When is that going to happen? This is purely Bitcoin, and this is purely to see when it's likely that we are starting to get a move up again. So, and it's mainly, to wrap it up, for the people that now feel like I'm getting bored, I'm getting depressed, crypto is not fun anymore, I'm losing money. Well, purely based on this, hold on for maybe, you know, 4 or 5 months and it will be okay, right? And if not by then, it may be by then, right? We don't know, but it will be okay. That's all I wanted to say. For now, please, let me know what you think of this, man. I think it's quite interesting to look at it like this. If you like it, like the video. If you have an opinion about this, leave a comment. And if you have subscribed to the channel, feel free to do so. I'm here every single day and I won't go anywhere. We're going to celebrate in the next bull market together. All right, bye.